Okay, so here we are with the Butterfly Ranch and another garden within the garden, right? So today what we're going to do is this area right here, we are going to make a raised bed for some nectar plants. So what I have, everything's trial and error, everything's learning, right? One thing that I've learned is your host plant and your nectar plants need to be nearby each other. The butterflies like it to have nectar and lay eggs, especially the females. It's very exhausting for them. So what I'm doing is, right here beside of me right here is my passion flower, the nectar plant, or the host plant for the long-winged zebras and the Gulf Fluttering. And then over there on the other side of the swing, I have the parsley, the dill for the black swallowtails. So and there's no nectar back here in this part of the garden. So what I'm doing is I am making a nectar bed right here. So my swallowtails can be right there with their host plant and nectar, and the same way with the long-winged zebras and the gulfs. They can have their host plant and nectar right nearby. So I've already got my bricks painted back there because I painted my bricks to be the same color as the pool deck, so that when I get this all finished, this patio here is made out of pavers. I'm going to paint it the same color as the pool deck, kind of bringing the pool deck out into the garden. I am going to be making a retention wall out of the concrete blocks, and then in the front here I have the pretty pavers that you see back there that's going to border the front of the flower bed. Okay? Are you ready? Let's get to it. In case you're wondering what kind of tool I'm using a Healy hoe. I think it works better in Florida. You know, we have our ground is not real hard, it's sandy. So this works better for my area. You might want to use a hoe or a tiller or something like that. See the little queen butterfly? I don't know if you can see her little queen butterfly flying around me. So this is what I like about the Healy hoe. See, it just pulled up all those old grass roots in one big clump. So that's why I like using the Healy hoe. Okay, that looks pretty good. I've got all the dead grass up, all of the weeds, that kind of thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go along and put my outside border of my bricks. So one tip I want to show you about these bricks. It's the same trick for the big bricks as it is for the small bricks. You can see that each brick has a long side and a short side. So if you want the line to go straight, you're going to put long side on one, short side on the top, long side on the bottom. That makes a straight line. If you want to start making a curved line, you're going to put both bricks short side together, and it's going to start making your curved line. So that's a tip when you're laying these bricks. So to create my corner, I have 4 bricks, all with the short end at the top, so you can see it's making a nice curve. Okay, so eventually I'm going to make my wall 2 bricks high all the way around. Right now I'm going to leave this space 1 brick so I can get in and out with dirt and the plants. Make it easier on me. Work smarter, not harder, people. Hydration break. So, with pre-bagged soil, I have a love-hate relationship with it. The reason I have a love-hate relationship with it is because so many times the bags are heavy, and so many times the dirt inside the bags is really, really wet or really, really dry. Most of the time in Florida, it's really, really wet. So what I like to do is, normally I go to a local nursery we have, and they have potting soil you can buy by the scoop, tractor scoop. So we put it in the bed of the truck, we bring it home, and we work with the gardens that way. I did go buy a truckload of dirt yesterday, and we used it all up for the milkweed garden on the other side of the yard. So I'm going to have to deal with the less desirable bag soil. So I have one space back there by the corner of the pool screen, and there's a gap. So the gap is too big for the large pavers. So I've got the same version but in smaller. So I'm gonna fill that hole with these smaller ones. Had to go get some more dirt, back at it again. Okay, so for this bed, I've used 9 cubic feet of soil. So the concrete blocks are a little bit more than a foot long. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's probably maybe 8 foot long by 2.5 feet wide, maybe. 9 cubic feet of dirt is what I used. Okay, so I've arranged my flowers where I want them to be. I have those 2 lantana trees. They're not doing really well because they're so root bound in the pots that they're in. I'm hoping that I haven't waited too long to get them in the ground, but we're gonna give them some nutrients and give them the best shot that we can give them. So for each plant, we're gonna dig the hole that it's gonna belong in, right? And then we're gonna give each plant a little bit of take root. It's a powder, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the tip of the spoon and put it in the hole first. Put the plant in the hole, and then I'm going to put dirt around it. You're going to see me come back, and I am going to give them dessert. That's what I like to call it, right? So dessert is 10-10-10 organic, slow releasing fertilizer. They're just little balls, and worm casings. So I like to get my worm casings from a local worm farm near us, but you can get them from Lowe's, Home Depot. Just make sure you're getting organic. That way it doesn't hurt your caterpillars. You're gonna mix the worm dirt and the fertilizer together. I just put it in a little bucket, and I put the worm dirt in there, and I add the fertilizer, and I just mix it around with my hands. And what you're wanting to see is a good mix of the little white fertilizer pebbles in with your worm casing. If it looks like you don't have enough, just add a little bit more. You want it to look like a really good, healthy mix of worm casings and slow release fertilizer. Mix it up really good, and see all the little white dots? That is your fertilizer, so you can see that I have a good mix of the fertilizer in with the worm casings. So I'm going to use the take root first, put it in the hole, put the plant in the hole, put dirt around the plant, and then I'm going to put about a handful all around the edge of the plant, and we're going to water it in. And that is giving the plants a good, healthy start in their new environment. So just so you can see how much take root I'm putting, it's just that much on the end, literally the tip of the spoon. That's pretty much it. You want to keep a pot of extra dirt around because you're going to need a little bit of extra dirt as you dig that hole, because remember, it's not packed down, right? So as you dig that hole and put the plant in, you might need some more dirt. So get you a bucket of extra dirt just to put around the plants in case you need it. Okay, they're all in the ground. Now I'm going to go around with my worm casings, a handful around each plant. Now I'm going to finish my retaining wall on the back side, and this portion of the garden will be finished. Okay, so I put my cinder blocks, I put my toppers. I got a little bit of touch up because you see this block here needs to be painted. Do my touch up paint. Be right back. Use my paintbrush that I had saved in my Ziploc baggie. Voila, still wet. There is our raised flower bed. There it is. That's our raised flower bed. So from this end all the way to that end. Then what we're going to end up doing, our next project, we are going to be painting. There's our retention wall on this side. We're going to finish the concrete walls around. We're going to pressure wash this floor and paint it the same color, bringing the pool color of the deck right into the outside patio. Here we go. I think the butterflies are going to love it. So it cost approximately somewhere between $200 and $250 to make this this raised bed. Between $200 and $250 for this raised bed. So that's the easy to do raised flower bed. Very inexpensive. I used concrete blocks as my retaining wall and small skinny pavers as the topper. Each concrete block got 4 pavers to be the topper. I put 2 rows of fancy bricks in the front, 9 cubic yards of potting soil, 5 pentas, and 2 lantana trees. So remember, if I can do it, so can you. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And remember, your butterfly dreams are only a flutter away.